Good morning, guys. Today's video is all about premature ejaculation, or more importantly, how to not premature ejaculate. Now, I know this affects a lot of guys. It affected me at one point. Believe it or not, I'll tell you my stories about premature ejaculation, the things I tried, and what I did to help stop it, prevent it. If you're a premature ejaculator, or you just want to have better sex, to last longer in bed, I got tips and tricks for that too. What exactly is premature ejaculation? Well, according to WebMD, premature ejaculation is uncontrolled ejaculation either before or shortly after sexual penetration. It happens with minimal sexual stimulation and before the person wishes. It may result in unsatisfactory sex for both partners. This can increase the anxiety that may add to the problem. It is one of the most common forms of male sexual dysfunction. It has probably affected every man at some point in his life. Now, I myself have experienced premature ejaculation in my life. When I was younger, it was a problem. Once I got older, more experienced, learned how to control your mind and also your body, control your ejaculation. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I personally lost my virginity at 15. My first experience with sex, I was a two-pump chump. Even with a condom, I had put the condom on, put it in, that was it. My first experience with sex, I was a two-pump chump. That's probably pretty common. I don't know if it's happened to many of you guys or girls out there. If you lost your virginity to a two-pump chump, it's a serious situation when you're younger and that happens. You kind of expect your first experience to be good, and you're gonna be awesome, and you're gonna do just like what you saw on TV or read in this book. But that's generally not the case. If you're young, you're experiencing premature ejaculation, don't stress on it too hard. It's gonna get better. Now, even all through high school and college, it was either hit or miss for me. Sometimes I'd be great at sex, other times I'd be awful, and I'd have an orgasm basically as I entered the girl, and there's just nothing you can do about it. You really feel powerless in that situation. You walk away from sex not being satisfied or not having the feeling of satisfying your partner, which really sucks. It definitely affects guys. I mean, it's affected me, and you're afraid. You're scared to have sex again. I'm gonna tell you guys some tips and tricks to last longer in bed and not premature ejaculate. We need a lady's point of view for premature ejaculation and lasting longer in bed. So, Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. Have you guys ever experienced premature ejaculation?
Once or twice. I would say it's pretty common.
Common, huh?
Well, sometimes I think it's hot. Like, if Johnny comes early, like when we're fucking at home alone, then I think it's kind of hot and cute that, like, he came early, you know?
But makes you feel like you were like Superwoman during that moment.
Yeah.
Like, haha, bitch, you couldn't hold it.
Yeah,
Even though you guys have been together for so long.
Yeah, and you know that
every day. Yeah, you should know how to hold it. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, sorry, babe, I can't. And it's like, yeah,
like,
I did it. Then you almost like get off on the idea of it.
But he's lucky because I come and like, well, the first orgasm for me is the hardest to get, but then once I get that first one, I just keep coming and coming and coming.
See, that's where we swap. So the first one is like, you gotta fucking put some work in
me
for
too,
it.
yeah,
like,
me too.
You have to find the spot, you have to stay in the spot. When I say don't fucking move, it means don't move. All of a sudden they're like, oh, you're gonna get it? And I'm like, tell you went faster. I didn't want you to go faster. It was over. You were perfect. So sometimes like when I'm about ready to come, it's like when it gets silent, like right before the storm. And I'm like, build up, build up, build up, and then I'll come. Then after that, I'm like kind of like tapped out for like a good couple minutes.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
And then it takes me a minute to like get back to like round 2, and I'm like, that feels good, but I'm not quite there yet. Okay, keep going.
Like,
Let's switch it over and switch it over again. And like, are you gonna come yet? Have you not come? Okay, you can come at any time. I'm telling you right now.
So once you come, you're good. They can come.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would
that's
prefer
good
like
advice.
if they could come with me almost. I'm like, yeah.
Well, that's the key is, you know, having your partner come before you do. That's kind of the name of the game,
I feel like you have to in a guy sense, because once you guys come, like you guys are
over.
like the finish line.
Yeah, you're asleep.
Once you finish it, then it's like no going back and then like trying to re-race again. So yeah, I definitely would say the girl has to come first.
Yeah, once we come, it's over pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like when Johnny comes fast sometimes, but if that was like a recurring issue that always happened, then that wouldn't be good.
Now my next question, any tips or tricks you've learned to help a guy last longer when they're with you?
I'm really, really good at reading body language. So if I can tell the guy's like really enjoying it, like body's tensing up, shaking, like then I'll back off. I'll be like, okay, you know what? Like I want him to last for a minute, so I'll go to like a really slow, sensual blowjob instead. Or like, and if his head's really sensitive, go to the balls. Every guy likes the balls being licked. You know, just kind of play around with that idea. So like me, I personally just pay attention to the guy and like what he's doing and how he's reacting to what I'm doing. If he's on top, then kind of not really that much in control. If he's just kind of doing his thing, then like I try to like kind of like push off or like switch positions, maybe like something that doesn't feel as good for him. So then that way we can kind of last a little bit longer.
Well, I know even for me, it's hard for me in porn scenes at least. It's hard for me to start in a position where the girl is in power, like cowgirls.
To start?
Mm-hmm.
To start, because I need to be in control to start. I need to set the pace. You know, I need to get used to it and feel it out.
Is that just for start, or is that just like in general? Like
just to start.
I've noticed when I'm on scene, like we'll be really good if we're like in positions to where it's like guys in control, and then as soon as I go into control, he's like, hold it, hold it, hold it, and I'm like, man, like what's going on? I'm going as slow as I can on you. Like if I go any slower, they're gonna think this is in slow motion. So come on. He's like, I'm almost like, just give me a second. Like we just need to switch positions. I'm like, we have 4 more minutes in this position, bro. Figure it out. I'm like, think about something else. Anything else. But as soon as they go back into control, you guys are usually fine.
Yeah. No, generally for me, once it's like, once I know what it feels like and I've gotten used to it, go ahead, jump on top, do your thing. I hate when the director wants to start in cowgirl because I'm like,
You're like
I have no control over that. I don't know.
I'm not ready for this.
Yeah.
I don't know how the pussy feels yet.
Right?
And if you come early in a porn scene, you're pretty much fucked. You've ruined the whole
Kind of
day.
in trouble. Like most girls are like, no list.
Yeah, you're fucked. It's a bad day.
It is a bad day.
All right. What about you, baby?
What?
Do you have any tips?
No, I don't know.
What do you do to make him not come?
I like to make him come. So, and I've only fucked like 4 guys in my whole life, so I'm not really like that good.
A pro at it yet?
And like when I have sex, I'm not in control ever. Like even if I'm on top, I'm really just trying to maintain because I'm kind of a spaz when I have sex.
Well, I feel like you're unique because you're satisfied whether I fuck you for 10 minutes or 30 seconds.
Well, yeah,
I'm kind of the same way actually. Like, because if you honestly, like, once you get to know me and you know my spot, it's not hard to find.
Yeah.
It's just finding it for the first time.
All right.
It's fun.
So, guys, the key is to just make your partner come first.
Yes.
Whether it's
30 seconds.
No, what do you guys think about if a guy just eats you out and fingers you and makes you orgasm? And then sticks it in and comes in 10 seconds. Is that satisfactory?
Yeah, I was like, I would be okay with that because once I'm done, I'm kind of done. Like, unless we really like prolong it and it's like slow and builds back up. But like, if he gets me off that way and wants to put it in for 30 seconds to use me, totally okay with that. Come on. But I almost get off to the idea because I've already gotten off, so now I'm even more wet for you. So I'm like, okay, go for it.
Yeah, foreplay definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And I come harder if you do foreplay first and then fuck me. I'll come harder when you fuck me. You know, like you're
It's
just
like
like
build up.
ready.
It's like edging, basically, for the girl. If like you've got me going, but hasn't gotten me off yet in foreplay, and then we go into it, then yeah. And even sometimes in foreplay, it's hard for me to get off.
All right, so are you girls satisfied if you get one orgasm and the guy comes, no matter how long it takes? Are you satisfied with that experience?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I come. That's
It's like
the
2
point of the
winners.
game.
You know, you need to have 2 winners at the end. It can't be like one got off and the other one didn't.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, but like if you like, I would just do a lot of foreplay to make sure that she's having fun. And then even if you only last for a minute, once you actually fuck her, at least, you know, there's a bunch of foreplay and
So there's
she's
a way
good? She's like,
around
oh, thank
it.
God.
Yeah, there's definitely a way around it. So if you actually have the issue of always getting off before, then just do foreplay. Just make sure you're good at foreplay because there's definitely bad foreplay, which will probably be for like another blog or something.
All right, guys. I mean, you've heard it here. By the way, this is Callie Carter.
Hi guys.
ready to have sex with her.
Are you
And
ready?
Kiss of Sins, of course. All right, one last question for you guys. What is the ideal length of time for a guy to have sex with you? Are you satisfied after 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Do you want to fuck all day as long as possible?
I feel like this is a trick question. Because I have 2 answers to it, but they could be the rude answer or it could be the nice answer. Rude answer.
Not on set, for your man, you know, who you love, who you want to be having sex with. Because these people, they're not performers.
Yeah,
so
I'm just trying to
they
think.
want to know
It always
about real
depends.
life.
Like if it's a guy that I don't really want to have sex with or something, then I'm like, the faster, yeah, it would be better. But like if it's somebody, but I don't even know, because there's times that like me and my partner, like if he's really, really horny and I'm just kind of
tired.
I'm just tired, but you know, I'm gonna be the good girlfriend. I'm gonna pull that card and be like, okay, I'll get you off. Then ideally 5 minutes would be nice. Like if you can just last 5 minutes and get off, and then that'd be great. If I'm not in the mood and you last to 10, then I'm like, all of a sudden porn star comes out and they're like, okay, we're fucking getting you off then. Like if you don't want to get off on your time, you're getting off on my time. So it's kind of different. But then there's times when I'm horny and I want to get off in 30 seconds, and then I'm like, okay, cool, if it's daytime sex too. Daytime sex, I'm like, we got shit to do, like make this quick, because like we got a lot to do. And then at night, that's where I'm like more passionate, more like take our time, like it's bedtime, we don't have anything to do after this, we're gonna go to sleep. And then 10-15 minutes. I think anything over 15 gets kind of boring after that point, because usually I come within 15 minutes, and then after that I'm just waiting on them.
In reality, girls don't need sex for, you know, a half hour, an hour.
No.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes is pushing it.
You'll fuck me for 10 minutes sometimes and it feels like a lifetime.
Yeah.
And then I'm dead.
All right. Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Bye.
Just got back from sushi. I gotta say, the girls had a lot of really good insight for you guys. It's nice to hear from a girl's point of view, even though they're not your average typical girls. But they do have more insight and more knowledge into the subject than most girls do, so I definitely listen to them. All right, let's get into the ways we can last longer in bed. Now, some of these techniques I've used in the past, some of them I still use, some of them I've used today. Other ones I haven't tried. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about all the techniques I know, and that way you guys can decide what works for you and what doesn't. So there's two different schools of thought when it comes to holding back your orgasm, not premature ejaculating. One is mental. The other one is physical. So let's talk about the physical side first. Now, I'm sure you guys have all heard about the creams you can put on your dick that make you numb. And that's one I've used before. I've used the numbing creams. When I first started getting into porn and doing scenes, I was nervous about it. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't come early in the scene. So I tried it. The only problem with it is your partner definitely gets numb too. So the girl knows you're using it and is gonna call you out on it. So don't just put it on and not tell the girl or tell your partner. Make sure they know what's happening, because if they start to go numb, they might think something's wrong with them, and you don't want that. But I would say just practice with it on your own and make sure you have the right dose, the right amount, so you don't get too numb, because the last thing you want is not to get hard at all. You just want the right amount so you can still get hard, but your sensitivity is just a little less. So that's about all I really know about the creams. The other thing you can do is just wear a thicker condom. The condom companies I see are always trying to go thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner, like there's hardly anything there. But really, if you want to last longer, you should probably get a thicker condom and try that. If you're using condoms, and you should be using condoms, always have safe sex. One other thing you can do that I've never tried is getting a prescription for some sort of antidepressant or just something that desensitizes you a little bit. I personally wouldn't recommend it. I don't recommend taking anything prescribed by a doctor that's man-made that you don't absolutely have to. And I would say only do that if it's the last thing. You've tried everything else and nothing works for you. I would do that route and maybe see a doctor and get on some sort of pills, antidepressants, whatever it is. I think they're just low dose antidepressants, which desensitize you a little bit. But you have to remember, that's what antidepressants do. You're desensitizing everything, your mind, your whole body, your dick. So it's not just your dick that it's affecting, it's your whole body. So like I said, last resort kind of thing is antidepressants, drugs, man-made pills, that kind of thing. A couple methods I use even to this day and today. One thing I do is I'll just stop inside the girl, just deep, and just hold it there and make out with her, or kiss her neck, or do something and just wait. Just wait 10 to 15 seconds until your orgasm goes down and you can start stroking again. And the girl's not gonna know any difference. She just thinks you wanna be deep inside her and make out with her or kiss her on the neck. And the key to that is just making sure she doesn't move, Because if she starts moving, well then, you're probably gonna climax because it's gonna feel really good. And that's one technique I use. I used it today, and I use it in a lot of my scenes and when I have sex a lot. So that's definitely one I would recommend. The other one is just the pull-out method. If you feel your orgasm coming on when you're pounding it, when you're hitting it, stop, pull out, go down, eat the girl's pussy. Just do something else, but still maintain the sex. And then as soon as you feel your orgasm go down, 10, 15, 30 seconds. I'm sure the girl or your partner is not gonna mind you're going down on them. And it's kind of hot to just pull out, eat them out, put your dick back inside. But that's another technique I use pretty much on a daily basis. If I feel like I'm gonna orgasm early in my personal sex, or earlier than I want in my personal sex, I guess. Or I'm on set and it's first, second position and I gotta slow it down. I'll just pull out, go down, eat the girl out, wait 20, 30 seconds, boom, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to get back in it. So that's another technique I use a lot and pretty much every day. Being in porn for as long as I have, I've seen a lot of things, and I've seen guys do all kinds of things when they're close to orgasming and they shouldn't be. I've seen guys punch themselves in the face or in the gut or just cause themselves some sort of physical pain to make the orgasm go away. I probably wouldn't recommend that, but if it works for you and you gotta do it, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. But I don't recommend it. I mean, I've seen guys give themselves black eyes, and it's kind of crazy to think about. A couple other methods you can do is just the squeeze method. Just squeeze right at the base of your penis or right below the head, whichever method works for you. I'll do that if I feel like I've gone just like a little too far, just one stroke too far. You can grab it at the base real quick, squeeze it. Sometimes you can fight it back, and other times it's too late. But if you really want to try to stop it, try the grab and squeeze method. It works some of the time. Yeah, but for me, I like to start in a position of control. And I would definitely suggest that. Whatever position is best for you, which is least sensitive, start in that position. Whether it's, doggy, cowgirl, spoon, I don't know, whatever, reverse, pile driver, who knows, whatever you guys are doing. But just start in that position, and then you can last a minute, you can build it up, you get used to the pussy, you get to know what it feels like, and then you can move to a more position where she's in control and she can fuck you or your partner can fuck you. And I like to talk about fucking girls because that's what I do, but if you're in a gay relationship, a lesbian relationship, whatever, everything's the same with your partner. It's just your partner. So I talk about pussy a lot because that's what I like, but these vlogs are for everybody. I love all my gay fans. I love all my straight fans. Just wanted to say that. These vlogs are for everybody. I talk about it from my point of view because that's what I know, but you just have to relate to it from your point of view. And like I mentioned earlier, you really just need to get to know your body and get to know your mind and how to control it and control your penis, because your dick is all mental. Getting hard is all mental. Having an orgasm is all mental. When you work in sex, you really start to feel these things, because if something isn't quite right in your personal life, you definitely feel that on set. It definitely affects you. And if something's on your mind other than the girl in front of you, you can have major problems. So just being strong mentally is, I would say, the number one thing in erections, orgasm. If you know you're gonna go in there and kill it, and you're not gonna have an orgasm until she comes 5 times, well then, that's probably what's gonna happen, because your mind is more powerful than your body. So start using your mind for sex. Which leads me to the next school of thought, the mental. Now the mental side of lasting longer in bed is a little more simple. All you really have to do is think about something else. So you're having sex, the girl's on top, and you have to come, but you don't want to yet. For whatever reason, it hasn't been long enough, you don't feel like she's satisfied, you're not satisfied, you don't want to be embarrassed. Well, if you don't want to stop, try the mental method. So just think of anything else. Guys will tell you to think of baseball stats, math. I've definitely done the math one a lot. Start adding, multiplying, subtracting in your head. Whatever you can do to kind of get your mind off it for a little bit, and just to let that orgasm sensation just go down, just depress a little bit. That way you can get back into it and you can concentrate on your partner again and not really weird things going on in your head. So mental is definitely something I use every day, all the time. There's times for me where I'm in a position at work where I can't start in control. There's a scene I did one time where I was handcuffed, or actually a couple times I've been, handcuffed or tied to the bed, and the girl is obviously gonna blow you and get on you and start riding you while you're tied to the bed. In that case, you're pretty much at her mercy because you can't stop her physically. You can tell her to stop, of course, but she might not stop in time. So that's when the mental aspect becomes really important, when you don't want to stop or you can't stop or your partner's not listening. So that's when mental really comes into handy. First, before I do anything, before I pull out or stop, I'll do the mental thing, I'll do math, I'll think of various things, anything but the sex. I really want to be concentrating on the sex, but sometimes you just can't. The trick is to just get that orgasm down so you can think about the sex again and enjoy it and build an orgasm up when you want to come. You have to be mentally strong to really hold back your orgasm or control it. I pretty much have my stroke down to a T. I could tell you if I stroke 5 more times, I'm gonna have an orgasm on the 5th stroke. So to get that in tune with your body is really what you want. To be really good at sex, you really have to work on it. And you don't have to have a partner. You can do it at home, you can masturbate. I wanna talk a little bit about edging. Just by yourself while you're masturbating, it really teaches you to control your orgasm. So when you're masturbating, you just do your thing and you feel your orgasm building. And then right before you have it, you just kind of stop and gently let it go down and let that feeling go away. And then you can build it back up and just do the same thing. They call it edging, where you bring yourself almost to orgasm and then stop, bring it back down, bring yourself almost to orgasm. I've done that pretty much my whole life growing up while I masturbated. Not really knowing it, I just wanted to masturbate more. It felt really good and I didn't want it to be over. So in doing that, I've learned to really control my orgasms and control sex. Now that I'm having sex, before I wasn't having sex, I was just masturbating. But now that I'm having sex and I'm a little bit older, I can control my orgasms because I learned my body and mentally I knew what it was gonna feel like. So that's one thing I would definitely recommend. And you don't even need a partner for it. Well, I guess that's about it for this vlog. I've pretty much talked about everything I know about lasting longer in bed and not premature ejaculating. It's really all about sensitivity. If you're sensitive, you're gonna have an orgasm really quick. So you just have to desensitize yourself some way, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically, whether you put something on it. The best thing you can do is really talk to your partner about it. If you're having problems and there's some sort of issue, generally your partner is willing to work with you. They'll help you work it out, and usually talking is the best way to work things out anyway. So I would definitely recommend that before trying any of these things. I hope this video helped some of you guys out. And by the way, when I said I lost my virginity at 15, I definitely think that's way too young. You guys should be waiting. 15 is super young. At least, I don't know, wait till you're 18. I don't know, I'm not gonna put this, I'm not trying to preach to you guys. What am I doing? All right guys, I hope you like this vlog. Please comment below what other subjects you want me to talk about. And please like, subscribe, and share this vlog. All right, thank you guys.